Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my top 10 modded survivors in Risk of Rain 2. Now, I have played over 70 different modded survivors so far, so I feel like I should impart some of my knowledge and experience to you guys. So, I made a list of some of my favorites to try yourselves. If there is a modded survivor that is not on this list that you think should be, let me know. There are hundreds of modded survivors on the Thunder Store, and I am on a mission to try them all. One last thing before we start. Subscribe for more Risk of Rain 2 content. I do one modded survivor showcase per week, along with other crazy Risk of Rain stuff. Now at number 10, we have Nemesis Mercenary. Nemesis Mercenary is part of the incredible Starstorm 2 mod. However, he is not available by default. Either install the Reeler Cheat Unlocks mod, or you can unlock him by going into the Void Fields, heading over to this small island, grabbing this item, and leaving Void Fields. Once you leave, you'll spawn on the next stage, and Nemesis Mercenary will spawn and try to kill you, kill him, and you will unlock him to use yourself. His kit has a full set of alternate abilities other than his primary, which is a shotgun that fires 2 shots. My favorite secondary is a thrown knife that gets ripped out for big damage when you get close. His shift allows you to dash behind an enemy, and his special allows you to see all of the attack vectors of the enemies. He can then dash through those attack vectors at will. His ult special summons a clone that mirrors your attacks, which is also really cool. Number 9 gives us Driver, a modded survivor based on the Ryan Gosling movie, Drive. This character is so smooth, with a pistol for the primary, a charge shot for the secondary, a nice slide as the utility, and a stun grenade as the special. Just be careful, the stun grenade will flashbang you. This guy has tons of alternate skills, so I won't be going through all of them. The best part about Driver is the number of guns you can get. Enemies have a chance to drop random guns for you to use temporarily throughout the run. Bosses always give you a special gun, and when I say there are lots of guns, I mean lots of guns. There are also a few other special Easter eggs that I will let you guys find. One of them involves mithrix, and you'll know it when you see it. Number 8 is Regigigas. You do not have to be a Pokemon fan to enjoy this behemoth. At the start of a stage, all of his stats will be halved, but once you kill 10 enemies, you can start to do some damage with his punches, of which he has 4 to choose from. He can also leap into the air, dealing serious damage on hit, or turn into a mobile explosion. The best part is the Crush Grip secondary, which can pick up an enemy and instantly take half their health in damage. And yes, this works on some bosses. I will say, he is deprecated right now, so some of his abilities may not work, but these ones do, and they are a blast. Number 7 is Nemesis Enforcer. The team at Starstorm 2 is peak, what can I say? Nemesis Enforcer has a pretty simple kit. First, he has his hammer swing, then a charge dash for the secondary, his utility jumps into the air and slams down on an enemy, and his special equips his Gatling gun. This gun is insanely fun, and while he's shooting it, he can use an M2 to bonk an enemy on the head. He also has some really cool movement tech that makes him even more fun, and you can emote, so what's not to love? Number 6 is Seamstress. Genuinely, Seamstress is number 1 on this list for pure feel. The sound design and overall smoothness of this survivor is insanely good, and she is crazy fun to play. Her primary is a melee with her scissors, and her secondary is a quick slice with both of them. Her utility rips out her own heart, I think, and continuously damages her, but all of your attacks bleed and give you a stackable buff called Needles that gives you other benefits like dashes in the air or more cuts with your M2. Her special throws one of her scissor blades at an enemy and replaces it with claws, and when you pick up the blade, it deals more damage. She is insanely fun and so dynamic that she had to be high on this list. Now we start our top 5 with Celestial War Tank. Before I even show you gameplay, I need to show you the customization screen, because holy cow, the options are endless. You can even design the body of the tank, which changes the stats. You can go full speed, no armor, no health, or be the tankiest tank in the West that moves like a snail. I just chose random skills and will show you some gameplay, but I will not be explaining any ability specifically because it's a tank, and you guys can guess how it works. truly one of the most in-depth survivor mods I've ever seen, with some very funny and over-the-top strong abilities, so you have to give it a shot if you have not already. Number 4 on our list is Mist. Mist is like playing an RPG in a Risk of Rain run. You can choose from a few pre-made classes based on your playstyle, or you can create a build from scratch. You gain spells from sacrificing items, and you can create an entire loadout with this cool menu. The best part is the limit feature. You'll have a magic meter to cast spells that recharges once it's empty, but you'll also have a limit meter that charges as you deal damage. Limits are essentially super powered spells that cost a limit charge. Just let me show you one of them, and you'll understand what I mean. To begin our top 3, we have Lee Hyperreal. Lee makes you feel like the main character more than anyone else on this list. There are so many abilities to go through, including extra ones not included in your main 4. Every attack looks amazing, and the skill ceiling is so high. You can combo attacks and power up others by stacking the right ones, and going in and out of Hyper Matrix gives you some absolutely bananas animations and super strong attacks. This survivor feels like playing Super Smash Bros. With button mashing, but once you start to see the vision, this guy is nuts. In second place, just missing out on our top slot, we have Resident Evil Hunk. Hunk is such a cool mod altogether, starting from when you first spawn in. You literally parachute down into stage 1, which sets the tone for what's to come. He has a knife, a gun, and can switch weapons with his weapon wheel. Ammo is also scarce, so you'll need to open chests and melee enemies to get more ammo. The best part about the kit is his dodge and counter mechanic. If you time a dodge correctly, you'll get a counter window where you can suplex enemies. You can also knife them or snap their neck, which is peak. Each stage there will also be an infected enemy. When you kill this enemy, it will drop a virus sample. You can deliver the virus to a specific box and it will spit out a keycard. The keycard can then be turned in to get another gun on one spot per stage. There are lots of guns to unlock, and each stage you can get one. Finally, there will be virus outbreaks in the later stages, and there are 4 different types of viruses that can happen, and they all give enemies different abilities. There are other secrets in the game, such as Nemesis T-Type getting involved, but I will leave that part up to you to find out. Before we get to our number 1 slot, I have a few honorable mentions who didn't quite make this list, but I wanted to talk about quickly anyway. In no particular order, we have the Rifter, who uses rifts and portals to deal crazy damage and can create some insane proc chains. Next we have the Ravager, who quite honestly ravages enemies with intense melee attacks until he fills his blood well, then goes berserk, dealing huge damage. Not to mention, he can pick up and slam bosses into the floor. Next we have the Executioner, another one of Starstorm's masterpieces, who feels the most like a vanilla survivor out of anyone we've talked about so far. He has a basic yet extremely fun kit with mobility, range, and power. Finally, the Gurren Lagann mod, which comes from the anime Gurren Lagann. And you play as a small drill that can combine into the full mech with this sick animation. Then, if you fill your spiral meter by dealing damage and killing enemies, and use your special, it looks like this. Now finally, our number 1 overall best modded survivor in Risk of Rain 2 for maximum fun, the House. Because guys, at the end of the day, the House always wins. House starts out pretty simple. He has 6 bullets in his revolver and a deck of cards. Every card does something different, with red cards being mostly good, purple cards being mostly bad, white cards being 50-50, and green cards being complete wild cards. Using a card will refill your gun with different bullets depending on which you choose. There are 3 different decks you can load into based off what you want, but I recommend using the full house deck for maximum chaos. I won't go into what each card does, I will simply show you a few minutes of gameplay. Enjoy. So I figured I'd do some kind of voiceover narration so you have something to listen to while all these colors are going on your screen. I'm gonna be pulling cards here at random, crazy things are happening. I'll try to explain some of it. Like the card I just pulled has a 1 in 6 chance to kill me, and a 1 in 6 chance to kill everything on the map, and neither happened, but it would have been cool. And I'm throwing cards out, that's a red card, that's a good one. Mithrix is here from one of my chaos pulls. You just never know what you're gonna get. For example, I pull this card right here. Oh, that's Voidling. Now we have Voidling and Mithrix 2.5 minutes into a stage 1 run. This mod really can get the absolute craziest out of any of these. We pulled a random card, which pulled the Wild Room, which gives you stacks of madness, and random things can happen the entire time. And so now I am just at the mercy of the run. I'm pulling every card I can find, every question mark that I find I'm pulling. Do I know what's happening on my screen right now? No, not even a little bit of a clue. But I got mad buffs, I got mad strength, health, defenses, doing damage to Voidling, just pulling every card I can find, and this is how most runs go. To be fair, I know the chaotic cards to pull, and I pulled the most chaotic cards I could, so there are ways to make your stage 1 not this insane, but I prefer it that way. Now we're Aurelianite, right? I mean, at the end of the day, now we're Aurelianite with all of her attacks for a little while. I don't know if that was a card I pulled or the Wild Room. Either way, we just become Aurelianite for a little bit, and eventually we do revert back. Now that we're back, we immediately turn into cars, me, Mithrix, and a bunch of other enemies just to drive around. They have no abilities, but they are cars, obviously. That makes a lot of sense. This is the chaos you get with the house mod, and why it's number 1 on the list. We got more Wild Room things coming in. We are another car that gets a little bit stuck in the floor, and that's okay because that's very fun. And now let me show you what happens when a successful Russian roulette goes off. And that is why the house takes the number 1 slot in my modded survivor list. I actually had so much fun playing house, getting you this recording. That recording is over 10 minutes long of just me messing around on stage 1. I forgot I was recording and just started playing. And to be honest, it was so much fun, I'm gonna revisit house and make another video soon. So subscribe so you don't miss it. And let me know if there is anyone I missed on this list, and I will add them to my list of survivors to try out. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.